does anybody want to recap last time for a free reroll? Should be fairly straightforward.
I can do it, but I always feel bad. I try and avoid doing it because I get the free reroll for posting the recap or posting the videos or audios or whatever the hell they are.
I took some notes. It looks like. I can give it a shot. Okay. Um, Last session we began with the we were in the meeting of the two tribes between the badgers and the reptiles, and things were going great until they weren't going great, and then these two tribe leaders decided now would be the best time to strike at each other. Um, there was like a last ditch effort by Bieber 93 to try to dominate the two of them, succeeding with the Badger tribe, but failing with the Reptile tribe poetically. His own tribe leader, who's Bieber's prophecy, a future sight for them for Piaf is that they lead the tribe into ruin, which is why I don't like them. And they went and gone and did it and started leading the tribe into ruin. The prophecy becomes real. So we ended up kind of getting into a scuffle with some of these people. As the Badgers were backing down, there was some posturing and shoving between Drake Atlas and I forget Iserman. Is that your dad's name?
It
Hugh.
is.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
um, uh, and then the reptiles though were here to fight, so we scrapped with them before things got like really dangerous because I was gonna kill Piaf, but as that was occurring, then our fight brought about the Watchers. They showed up, bunch of drones, bunch of Sentinels, and we decided to fight against the drones and the Watchers because otherwise they would take us and we wouldn't know what would happen if that would be the case. Maybe they killed us, maybe they didn't. And we managed to somehow fight off 3 drones and 2 sentinels. Equipment was broken during the fight. People were getting hurt and injured. I mean, it was crazy. I think everybody had like cool turns for stuff they were doing. Um, I know. Hugh was like saving people on the battlefield, which was awesome. Drake was crushing it. ODB was ambushing people with from the water and shit. It was crazy. He was like Rambo in the water. um, Oh, and at the we managed to defeat the Sentinels. A kind of understanding and peace, seems to be established between the two tribes. They both walked away instead of attacking while weakened and whatnot. Um, I did Bieber 93 did I think I made a big jump and then had to roll a feral check and went mega feral, and I just leapt away into the forest for the next 3
Oh my
hours.
god. I just remembered that. Well,
Yeah. Nature took its hold.
Sure did.
Battle frenzy.
I will correct one small thing, which is the Watchers were not immediately there trying to take you away. However, they did want to band you. They wanted to
Right, they want to
put
tag us.
Yeah, they
a
wanted to
metal
tag
tag
us.
around each
Yeah,
of your legs.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is not no good.
Yeah, no good, especially for would be secret resistance members. That would make getting banded would make your job difficult. Um, the other thing is that the two groups have separated, but have not necessarily. Oh, I didn't realize the character was from Beastars. Got it.
Yeah,
but have
got
not
it.
actually left the clearing. At the end of the fight, Danzig, the Gila monster member of the reptile tribe, was still on the same portion of the battlefield as the two members of the Badger tribe, Iserman 33 and Kolzig 58. I don't feel like taking through
Yeah.
my notes to find the exact number, but
And we'll join them in utero, I think.
I don't think you mean in utero.
Yeah, isn't that the phrase?
It sure isn't.
In utero,
mean,
no.
I've heard it both ways.
I know what you're trying to think. Oh God, what is that? Yo, it doesn't matter.
No, it's in utero.
well, I don't know what you're trying to say, Sean, and I believe in utero means like in uterus.
Yes, it sure
Yeah,
does.
it does. Yeah, it's I actually also forgot the phrase, but it means like you're coming in the middle of the
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
I gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
But
I
it
mean-
like the phrase, you know, they're just similar. I think I always
Right.
thought it was funny.
it makes sense.
Are you talking about in media res?
Yeah, but I think that I feel like there was like another version of it. Maybe it's literally that, and in utero is just like similar thought concepts.
Right, gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
Actually-
Whatever. Like we're here. Gamma has fucked off. Is out in the woods, right? And I'm a little unclear. It sounds like you were just saying that there are some members, both of the reptile and of the badger tribe, that are sticking around. But I thought when we left, Iserman and Piaf had sort of given each other the stink eye and then fucked off in their opposite directions.
they had given each other a nod,
Mhm.
not necessarily a stink eye, but not
Okay.
any sort of like actual friendly gesture, but just
Right.
sort of a grudging respect type of maneuver,
Gotcha.
and then had separated onto opposite sides essentially of the lake.
Okay.
Danzig, who had been near the Badgers, rejoined
Gotcha.
Piaf and William
Mhm.
20, whereas Kolzig and Iserman remained on the side where you are. If I
Gotcha.
remember correctly, yeah, both ODB, well,
I mean,
originally both ODB and Gamma had been on the same side as the Lizards until that feral
Right.
frenzy by Gamma took him, oh my God, excuse me, hiccups, running off into the jungle. Drake similarly stands over near the members of the, here just for my mentalness, this is purely so that I can get this thought in my head. Which leaves both sides at a roughly equal number of people.
Gotcha.
There is, in the immediate aftermath, something of a mechanical almost silence to the area. The fight has, and the weapons discharged by the Sentinels has scared off most of the creatures that you would expect to hear, the birds, the insects. All of that sound is gone. However, with their chassis rent and ripped and the drones torn to pieces, there is still the soft crackle of fires in the hulks of metal. There is the sound of circuits popping, transistors and capacitors exploding, that sort of thing. There is the crackling of fire and the smell of ozone. There is otherwise from the people an odd silence. The two groups, the two tribal leaders conferring with the other members of their tribes, but otherwise pointedly not really looking at each other
Right.
with a perhaps somewhat palpable sense of almost embarrassment
Okay.
at what was happening prior to the arrival of the Watchers. And sort of an unspoken nervousness now, as you all have pointed out, they all just fought the Watchers, and that's not a small thing. And certainly not something done by most tribal elders.
Mhm. Hewlett is in the immediate aftermath is going to be scrambling around through the wreckage of these things to see if there's anything that's salvageable and perhaps useful from um, the Sentinels and the drones.
You can make a scavenge check. That's the name of that skill, I think. You don't, I believe. No, you do. You have a toolkit?
No, I don't believe I do. Let me check my items here. Hold on.
Couldn't remember because I remember when you met what is their character? Esperanza. She was looking at a
Yeah, I do
small
not
set
have a
of
toolkit.
tools. Okay.
So let me go back here, go back down. Whoops, I'm in the wrong spot. It's over here somewhere.
Also,
Yeah.
everybody remember to set your feral points to back to 2.
Yeah, I think given my condition, I'm gonna leave that as the roll.
Okay. That's still one success. There is not a lot to be salvaged off of these things, mostly because a lot of them are everything is hardwired together. It requires the whole of the unit to function, and most of these things are very damaged. But one of the Sentinels, both had tasers and gripper arms, but they looked a little different, and you can see that one of these tasers was not as hardwired as the other. It was using some sort of power pack, and while the taser itself is damaged, you do find. Do I have a handout for this item? I do not, and would not have a way to show it, even if I did. But if you go into the items, you can add an energy pack. It is an artifact.
Cool.
You have no idea what it does without making a comprehend check, which is what that skill is for. But you do know that it's detachable, it's in one piece, and the other Sentinel doesn't have one of these for some reason.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think as I'm pulling this energy pack out and stuffing it into my pack, I will sort of just be nervously talking to everyone and no one in particular. Look, this is not what we wanted, certainly, and definitely not how we wanted it. But clearly, our fates are intertwined now. I mean, you can see this, Dad, right? And Piaf, you can see this. We've got to stick together.
The silence broken. They do turn to first look at you as you speak, and then at each other. A very thoughtful look on both of their faces as Piaf is actually the first to answer you and says, "What we've done here is sacrilege, but it's what we all did. I will take my warriors and we will return to the terrarium. Whatever was between us in the past is replaced by this, for now at least. It's not really peace, but it's not hostility. That's done. Iserman just sort of chuckles. He never really considered the hostility from their side anyway, and just says, "Your boys fought well. It's impressive. Whatever there was, whatever there is, I don't much care for these things here, but we at the Badger Burrow, we do pay our debts." And he looks over at he looks between all of the reptiles present, most specifically between ODB and Danzig. You all fought well, brought down those things. I don't know that my boys and I over here would be in the shape we're in now if it hadn't been for you, and so for that, you have my thanks. And you have a pass away from here. And he delivers that last part with sort of a big shit-eating grin. Frogs can't really roll their eyes as well, but that is the exact sort of sensation that emotion rather, that you get from Piaf as she turns to leave. Williams, for his part, looks to you, ODB, since you are close to him on that side, gives you a bit of a salute that just he waits till Piaf's back is turned, gives you a salute that sort of a warrior's salute of well done, and looks down at the watchers, waits for Piaf to walk a little ways away, and for the first time hearing him speak, this large mutant snapping turtle just says, "I've always hated these things," and just turns and begins to follow Piaf out. Danzig, for his part, just kind of stares at you for a second, grunts, and then turns to go.
As soon as Danzig not looking my way, I'm gonna give Williams I'm gonna reciprocate his energy. I will spend a Pharaoh point to track Gamma down. My hunter instincts.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
Iserman, your father, Hugh, is conferring with Kolzig for a few moments before walking up to where you and Drake are standing, and Danzig, or not Danzig. Oh boy, my bad. ODB, if you have walked over by then, and just says, "We'll be heading back to the burrows. I don't know what really prompted all of this, but it worked out in the end, I guess."
It's
You were saying ODB?
oh no, it did work out quite not quite well, but nobody's dead. So
And we all survived, and there's less threat for the Badger tribe from the reptiles. That's not nothing.
yeah,
Sort of
the show is right.
sort of scoffs. Not like they were much of a threat to us all the way across the river.
Mhm.
Well, I don't mean to be rude, Dad, but ODB 94 and we've got to go find our friend. Seems like we took the battle pretty hard.
Right. Like I said, Kolzik and I'll be heading back to the burrows. Just make sure you find your friend, and then go find your other big friend. He just gives you a very knowing look, and he turns away. Picks Kolzik up, who is still feeling the effects of that taser a bit, and they limp off into the forest.
ODB, man, I hope you can find Gamma. I might be able to help a little bit.
Mm, Thank you, thank you. He does this quite a lot. Uh, it shouldn't be too hard to watch. You just gotta watch out for the big old tracks that he leaves behind with those webbed feet.
All right. Out of curiosity, make me a hunting check.
Okay.
Can I make a scout check to try and give him a +1 to it? Or is that not how
Allow it.
the okay.
Allow it.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Well, it doesn't make a difference anyway.
Okay.
I'm too panicked.
You may find out like the help is you give up your action to like give
Oh, that's
one
right. You
skill
just give
die.
up a skill die. You don't actually have to
Oh,
add
that's
anything. You
right.
don't
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, so just add a single skill die to your roll.
You know, it would be I don't know if we want to do like I mean having the test is just more fun to roll, but what about like roll for better success? Like you have to hit a threshold to like get like a another like 2 die instead of 1 or something, right? Just a thought.
Yeah,
not that like it's a good thought, but it's
Yeah,
it's just a thought.
right, certainly something to consider.
Yeah.
right. I'm adding
I
one
think
extra
that
skill
especially
die, right?
makes sense in situations like this where the skill being rolled is a roll skill, especially. So anyway, yeah, go ahead and add a skill die.
Okay.
Well, I meant,
Oh, I only clicked the skill die.
yeah.
My bad.
So just
Uh-huh.
go ahead and make your roll because there's your extra skill die.
Huh.
Okay. I mean, don't you can find him. It was just going to be, and it's not worth pushing this to and hurting yourself. It was just a exceptional success cuts down the time type of deal.
Mhm.
Since I believe we rolled for your duration, and this is like 3 hours of wild
Mhm.
frog time.
Oh yeah. In real time, starting now.
Okay. Talk to you next week.
It's just me grunting for 3 hours.
A lot of ribbits and you eating flies.
Yeah.
I think true to frog nature, or reptilian nature, I should say. I think Gamma and I am absolutely open to what you think Gamma is doing during these 3 hours, but I think it makes sense that you are running east. You are running back towards the terrarium, but more specifically back towards the water, because
I need to be somewhere. I'm like, as I'm running, leaping, right? I need to be somewhere, yeah, like wet, muddy. I need to get in deep somewhere, get under something.
That's why it takes so long to find him. He
Yeah.
He just stopped
Actually,
moving somewhere.
yeah, I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, right? I'm all mud
Covered. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It
You guys
does.
pass by, and then you see my eyes blink.
I think actually by the time they find you, buried in the wide bank that leads down to the river, submerged in mud and puddle and I don't want to say muck, but um, you know, essentially mud bathing as a frog. By the time they find you, it has taken the full 3 hours. Your feral nature having kicked in, anytime they close, that just triggers even more of a flight response. Your rational mind would know that it's them, but your rational mind has taken a back seat for the time. And so what started off as an early morning conference sometime around 10ish in the morning it's now early afternoon by the time that they find you. You are very close to the southwestern edge of the central lake of Paradise Valley. The large islands of the ape habitat visible in the distance. The sun overhead drying the mud to Bieber 93's body.
As I'm fighting them, telling them, "No, get off of me, get off of me."
Gamma, you're fucked up, man. We gotta take you home.
I'm. Hold on, I need to practice his voice more in between sessions. I've never felt more clear-headed. I'm
Bro,
finally thinking clearly.
drink some water.
I drink water, spit it at you.
What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Are you? Can you put some clothes on? Where are your clothes? Where you-
You say that, and camera cuts to a pile of clothes back at the meat site that I stripped off.
Oh. All right, here I'm gonna go post your whole art.
Um, is it?
It
Were you about to
will.
say something?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to. I didn't
Yeah,
want
I
to.
didn't know.
Go ahead. Like I'm thinking out loud, and then I realized, oh yeah, I'm on a microphone. That's not a great idea.
Okay.
No, it's fair.
I come to my senses, and though I do need to go get my clothing.
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
Fortunately, you are not a full 3 hours away from where you were. You've been. Yeah, it's been 3 hours, but you were not running the full time. So it only takes you about an hour to get back to your clothing, um, back to the destroyed Watchers and the clearing. As you head into the clearing, however, you do see another person is there, another mutant, a familiar iguana in a puffy jacket who has is sitting on the same rock where not too or not the same rock / log where not too long ago there was a buffet of sorts, and is sitting next to a pile of folded clothing. And as you all break into the clearing, Ringo just looks up and says, "I wasn't sure if I should try to come find you or just sit and wait." And looks like waiting was the right answer.
Ringo, good to see you again.
What and he just sort of casts his eyes at the fallen watchers at the pile of clothing on the rock and just says, what's going on?
Okay. You know how we were supposed to be trying to create some sort of peace between the tribes? Yeah, this was our attempt at that, and I think we did pretty good. Right?
Yeah, the tribal leaders did agree that as a result of this meeting, they have moved past hostilities toward each other.
Let there
Really?
be peace.
Huh. You really did it, huh? I did pass P off, but she looked pretty sour, so I didn't approach.
She always looks pretty sour.
Well, more sour than usual.
More swollen.
Yeah. um,
If
you,
what you say is, if you're telling the truth, if you've done what the big guy asked, then make sure tomorrow night go meet back where you met him the first time. I'll let him know. I'm not going to come collect you this time. You're going to have to find your way there yourselves. I have business elsewhere. You guys did me.
oh,
I mean, you got this solved. I mean, I'm headed back to the terrarium. If I find out otherwise, I'll be real unhappy. But if you're legit, then man,
Too legit.
Yeah,
I'll have that
we're
jacket
too
now.
legit to quit.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
all right.
we are.
Hey, check out the cool coats. What do you think?
Yeah. My
He
drenched coat.
puffs up his jacket a bit, grabs the collar almost like it's a suit jacket. Yeah, I've always been a trendsetter. All right.
This fucking guy.
Big guy will be happy to hear what you have to say. I'm happy.
So, now that we're in, of course, what's the next move?
You go talk to the boss.
Same place?
Same place. Like I said, I'm not going to collect you. You go tomorrow. I'll make sure he's there.
Yeah.
Ringo's an iguana?
Correct.
I attempt to do the secret reptile handshake with him.
I mean, given that there's no secret reptile handshake that I'm aware of or that Ringo is aware of, it is
Oh, I'm aware of.
it is a few awkward moments of you swirling your webbed hands around as Ringo looks. What are you doing? What is this?
So
What is...
you bump it here, and then
Okay.
up top. Yep. There we
right,
go.
and then explode. Got it.
See, now we know.
Wait, how do you do that? Go ahead.
Here, I'll show you. That way,
Okay.
all of us will know that each of us is a reptile.
Right. You're so right.
I avert my eyes.
Okay.
No,
So
he was
I lock
cool.
it in. Wait, I lock it in here? No?
Yeah, lock it in.
Okay. Boom. Big explosion.
All right, Ringo.
Yeah.
We'll see you around.
Be careful.
Yeah, we'll try. Okay.
I'll begin putting on my clothing and then go walk over and begin making a little pile of my broken seer staff.
Mm, you got her good. I see. Uh,
I remember.
I
Yeah.
seen it from across the river. Yeah, you fucking got her.
Oh yeah. She'll be croaking strange for a while, I bet.
Oh yeah.
It is, by the time you have gotten back, gotten dressed and gotten all your things, it is not quite evening yet, but you do have some time before tomorrow, before you are supposed to meet with Truffaut. You have not been given an explicit time for such a meeting, but you met him in the early hours of the evening last time. Seems reasonable that that would be about when you would meet.
Okay.
I think I look at what pieces I can gather from the staff and kind of like look at them a bit and kind of pick up a little remnant and kind of just let it fall and just, oh, that staff served me well for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah,
You know, what
I'm
do you
so,
guys say?
yeah, I'm fumbling with the broken pieces of my slingshot. Like, yeah, it seems like uh we've got a lot of recovery to do. And then looking around at my three friends, you know, to see what sort of uh physical state they're in. Um, I know I got to get somewhere and do some recovery, and then try and replace his weapon. It seems like you're probably in a similar boat there, Gamma.
Hmm. I just need to find the right stick, perhaps.
Let's see. Before I offer something I can do. Oh, Hugh, I can actually make you a new sling.
Well, hey, I mean, that sounds great, but I think we should probably get somewhere safer first.
Oh,
Hmm. I think you're right. This'll draw attention, for sure. I'm surprised it hasn't really already. Let's make haste. Where?
okay.
I mean, we should probably start heading back west. We've got to make it to the helicopter. I mean, on the one hand, I'd say we should head back to Dogtown. That's usually a pretty safe place to hole up. But now I'm a little nervous because how tight that clan is with the Watchers.
Hmm. Hey, you're right. Maybe lay low. I'd like to go back to the terrarium, but I think that's a bad idea as well.
Mm,
Well,
Hmm.
look, if we find a place that we feel relatively comfortable with, I can dig us a nice hole that we can camp out in for a little bit.
Hmm. Why don't we head towards the meet and maybe we find shelter somewhere? I look for Drake. He's here but not here.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I make sure that Drake's okay. And then I ask him for my teddy bear back.
I will make the executive decision that he will happily return your teddy bear and thank you for its use, because it made him
Ooh.
feel better.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm sure wherever you are, you know it.
Okay, so
And
it sounds like you all are going to begin the trek to the helicopter.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it sounds like our plan is like head that way, but like camp out, right?
Okay.
Maybe make use of people's skill sets to find safe shelter.
Yeah. And actually, I think at sort of as we're going, or maybe just before we start heading out, I want to poke around in my horde,
Mhm.
and it says that I can, in terms of weapons, I can use scavenger to try and find a blunt instrument. And it sounds to me like a staff might be a blunt instrument. And so I'd like to see if I can find something that, even in a worst case scenario, Gamma could use temporarily until he finds a staff that's more to his liking. How does that sound?
Sounds like I need a roll.
All right, here we go.
all right.
So with one success, you will find a basic blunt instrument. You have
Mm.
some object in there, a length of pipe, a gnarled stick, or like a broom handle or something. That will count as a blood instrument for a single attack.
Yeah, I think.
Because it requires an extra success to make the weapon durable, to make
Yep.
it permanent.
Yep. I think given this, what I find is um, the like it was at one point one of those like push brooms, all wood push brooms with a stiff straw at the end of it, but the broom head has almost completely deteriorated. Um, and there's a pretty significant crack in the long handle itself, but at least for the time being, it remains a single piece. Probably not for very long, though. I thought I had something better, but maybe at least until you find something, this will do the trick for you, Gamma.
I kind of test its heft a little, you know, and give it a like a real feel with the hands. Um, take a few steps, just using it as like an actual real walking stick. And feel like, yeah, I think this will do in a pinch. Thank you.
I do what I can.
You do not have to write it down as an item. It does not count against your weight because it is not a permanent item.
Sick.
I try to make a sling for our boy Hugh here. It doesn't need scrap or wood.
Do we want to get to our place before we I think 'cause he was like looking for this, but we're trying to like skedaddle
Yeah.
away from these robots.
All right.
So as
Okay.
the crow flies, the distance to the helicopter from where you are is only about 6 miles, which will only take you about 3 hours at a regular pace to get there. You can actually get there before evening. The problem is you're not crows, and you will have to contend with some of the inner fences of the zone. You are still of Paradise Valley. You're still in dog territory, and there is one fence between you and Badger territory where the helicopter can be found. You know that there is a checkpoint down along the road, not all that far south of where you are now. You could also go past the lodge, and there is a checkpoint farther west along the fence that will allow you to come into the Badger territory.
Now we're going long ways avoiding checkpoints, right? We got all the time in the world.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're criminals.
I
Right.
was going to say that was my other option for you, which is to essentially from where you are, avoid the checkpoints, cross over the trail, cross over the road, head southeast towards the helicopter, and go through, hoping to find a hole in the fence. Just getting to the fence, I actually have a whole. What is that? Takes you about an hour and a half. During which you can try to find the materials you need to build this slingshot ODB. There's certainly wood aplenty. You are in a forest for at least the first hour of your journey.
Alright,
Hell yeah.
we got wood. Watch this. I gotta roll a hunt check to see how durable it is.
Oh, mahogany.
Yeah.
Break it down. Are you kidding me? This is hand carved mahogany.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And
Let me see what that says on it. I'm going only one, only two. Be gone. Good damn it. It literally doesn't say what happens when it fails on here.
Yeah, that defaults to the basic rules of failure, which is something bad happens. The only thing I can't say is that nothing happens, whether it is just some sort of harm to you, whether it is something else happening. I think as you are trying to pull this, as you are walking and trying to scavenge up some, I should say scrounge up, since scavenge is a thing, scrounge up some useful bits of wood. There is, of course, wood everywhere. It's just that a lot of it is not good enough to be part of a weapon. There is bits of it that are broken. There are bits of it that are rotten, and certainly plenty of things that are either too large or too small to be of any use.
Okay.
And so as you are walking and you finally think you have found the perfect piece of lumber, you can actually see it a little distance away from you. It actually stands out against the forest, because where most of this wood is, a dark brown or a mossy green, this piece of wood is almost bright yellow, and there's a swirl of another color through it. It's a little strange, but you think that this piece of wood would be perfect, absolutely perfect for what you want to do with it. And so without thinking, you are heading straight towards it. If the other two would make scout checks for me.
yeah, I'm a scouter. I'm a known scouter.
I'm a noticer. I notice.
I'm a noticer. Yo, I scouted.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude.
Hey!
Thank God.
My big eyes.
Not just your big eyes, but you are keyed into this because, I mean, there's still that old feral animal part of your brain that you recently were back in touch with that is like, this thing would probably be good eating. Except that the mutant animal part of your brain is like, no, that is, there's no way that that's a normal butterfly up in that tree. That thing is a foot across. You can make a no nature check, which, since you are the one to have observed it. at a
Ooh.
-1 modification, please.
-1. How do you do -1s?
Well, you can either build the die pool manually, or we just take one skill die off, starting from the right, because alchemy does not handle this. I did download the Foundry files. I'm going to try to set this up in Foundry and transfer it over, because I feel like the rolling might actually work in
Mm.
Foundry.
No success. But I can still push this, right?
You absolutely can.
Yeah. No.
You
don't
have
know what it is.
Tenacious, however.
Oh, I
Don't
do have
forget.
Tenacious.
You mentioned
Come
that
on.
earlier.
Come on.
Oh yeah, get there.
Okay, we do get there.
Is this
Got
your
there.
skill with the -1 modification factored in, or is?
Ooh,
or
that
are we
means I
leaving off?
don't. That means I don't get there, because if it's losing the right, then yeah,
Unfortunately, okay.
yeah, I don't get there.
You see a
I just don't know what it is.
yeah, but you do see this butterfly, and as ODB is reaching out for this piece of wood that he sees, you see him grasping at nothing at all, and what he is saying is starting to not make sense with what you see.
Al, what are you doing right now?
There's no wood there.
What are you talking about? It's wood right here.
I'm saying what you're reaching for. There's nothing there right now. I mean, you're almost about to grab the tail end of that big butterfly moth thing.
What?
Yeah, it's right there. Look.
It is flapping wings, and it looks like it's about to take off. We are going to roll into initiative real quick. How do I think I can just... I'm not even going to bother with a tactical map, but I think if I just hit turn order...
And isn't it
add
we just have to roll a d6, right? That's
Yeah.
how we determine our.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 6, baby. Yo.
Yeah, roll off.
I got a 5.
Wait, are you all rolling off starting at 6?
With 2 of us are starting.
Two of
at
us got
6.
sixes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your initiatives? I'm sorry, your agilities?
Oh,
think it's
my
agility.
agility. My agility is 3.
My agility is currently. Oh, my
3.
agility is 4.
Okay. I can't drop Drake out of...
Does
actually,
it
I can
go
drop him.
tie dice agility if tie roll off? Is that the order?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The butterfly is last. Why can't I put Drake down in the hidden tokens so that he is not... Well, whatever. I can put him at the bottom. Gemma, this... you can see it now that it has been pointed out to you. A butterfly roughly... actually, you can also make a no nature check at this point. A butterfly roughly foot across, patterned in bright
Talking about
colors
to
and
hue or gamma?
gorgeous. I'm sorry, I meant hue.
No worries.
Since it has
I'll
been
make
pointed
that.
out.
Yeah, I'll make that no nature check.
A knower. A known knower.
I need you to... Okay, so you don't normally have any skill dice in no nature, correct?
No, I have. I think I've got 1. Oh no, no, I do. I don't. I have no skill dice in no nature.
Okay.
I have it.
So
Yep,
we get
yep,
into the whole negative skill dice. If you will roll
Yeah.
1 skill die, and if you roll a success on it, then it'll counteract your current success.
Okay.
Whammies.
It does not. You're fine. You recognize a psionic butterfly,
Mhm.
a predator of Paradise Valley that uses its wings to drive its prey insane. wait for it to pass out, and then it can land and feast on all the juices within its targets. They are not exactly tough things, but if allowed to, they can be very dangerous, especially for somebody out on their own.
Gotcha. I have no slingshot. Can I just pick up a rock and try and chuck it?
You sure can. That
Alright.
actually, there is a weapon entry for thrown rock.
It's fantastic.
Thrown rock is just a regular force roll. It's not shoot.
Oh, it's not shoot. Okay.
It's not shoot for thrown weapons. I believe thrown weapons fall under. Is it shoot? It is not shoot. I thought it was force.
Close combat.
Yeah, fight is close combat. Shoot is using bows, slings, and sometimes even the massively destructive weapons of the old age. Oh boy. Oh yeah, there it is. Under stunts on the force roll. Every extra success beyond the first allows you to choose. You push or throw the object with great force. One target of your choice within arm's length suffers damage equal to the number of extra success.
Okay, so I'm
That's
making
for
a
throwing
force
a
roll.
large object, though, not a thrown weapon. Probably just check the actual combat section. When you attack someone at a distance, you roll shoot. You need a ranged weapon, if only a rock to hurl. So don't listen to me. Force is when you throw a particularly large boulder
Gotcha.
rather than throw as a weapon. Okay, so yes, you will make a shoot roll. There is no gear bonus.
Okay. We'll just
Damage
ignore
1
that
for
gear
rock.
die.
Damage
So
1
that's-
for rock.
Yeah, but oh yeah, and I don't have any gear die there. That's just
Yeah.
great.
The yellow are your base dice. The green are your skill dice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get away from him.
There is a very quick splat as this psionic butterfly is crushed up against the tree. If only I'd gone first.
Oh, thank God.
As
The
the
Wu-Tang
That's
Clan
it.
was about to be over with so fast.
Gamma wipes some sprayed ichor on his face and licks it up.
Oh shoot!
and now you're in full Hypnotoad mode,
Okay.
having ingested some hallucinogens.
Wait, it might be alive. Is it?
It is.
not
It is
dead?
not. It is not.
Okay.
It is dead. It is not.
Okay.
If it had been moving, if I had gone first, there is a -2 modification to hit targets. It was about to take off. That is also something I will remember for next time.
Let it take off.
I even like read the thing, was like, oh, I should have this start, like combat start when it's moving, not when it's on a. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This was not meant to be. This is just a little side effect of the bad roll, not a full combat encounter.
Yay, Hewlett killed something.
Also, I was kind of hoping I would get to drain some eyeball fluid from one of
boy.
my reptiles.
What?
Why can't you just say like some regular shit?
It's the description of the psionic butterfly. Then the butterfly can land calmly, plunge the feeder into their body, and gorge on their meaty juices.
Meaty juices.
From the description.
It likes
Are you
eyeballs.
cool, bro? Like is everything good?
Look, he's cool, and so's this butterfly.
Psychedelics. Also, Bieber, having licked that goo, you are slightly tripping.
Hell yeah. Do you guys want any of this, or come on? Pretty good.
That's all I need to hear. If it's good, if Gamma's recommending it, I will act like I'm totally into it and definitely want some and do it all the time, and like then consume the absolute smallest amount I can and still consume some. Yeah, this is great.
You are unprepared for how powerful this psychedelic is.
You take like the little tiny like hot sauce toothpick dip and are like blazed.
Right.
I want you to think about who your trip sitters are right now.
Right. Right. Little does Hewlett know, the psychoactive properties act in inverse to the amount you consume.
Yeah, just a weird thing about this book.
Yeah, fucking weird,
You
dude.
know,
Oh wow, yeah, you are experienced.
nightmare.
Yeah, hey,
English.
maybe we should get you digging, so you know,
yeah,
maybe get you a place to lay down.
yeah. If I'm tripping balls, I'm gonna roll a scout check because I'm gonna start looking for moose tracks.
Wait,
Moose tracks,
Gamma
maybe,
is
maybe.
microdosed, and he just tried it for the first time.
I would say that there aren't really moose tracks to find. There are certainly tracks. There's not really a moose around here at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, like that totally checks out and makes perfect sense that like Hewlett just sort of for a brief moment gets preoccupied with trying to find these moose tracks, finds a bunch of tracks, thinks maybe he's onto something, then realizes like, oh no, these are just other animal tracks. Oh, and then sort of snaps back to like, oh wait, like we're doing something.
Hmm.
Like we're
We'll
in the
find
middle of
him.
something. You don't have time for this right now.
Yeah, we'll find him though.
All right, well, yeah, let's just get to that helicopter. I could definitely use to lay down and get some food and make sure we're all someplace safe.
All right, I'm just gonna grab some thorax for the road.
How many claws am I holding?
All right. As always, finding a passable hole in the fence will require a no nature roll. Only one of you can roll, but the others, if you have the skill, can assist, which will add one skill die to the roll of whoever is leading your effort, which I feel like at this point is probably ODB, but I actually leave the decision up to you.
Nah, it's gotta be our man. Well, actually, I don't know which one of you has the better one. I can offer help.
I have a
Anyone.
1 in it.
I was
I have a
mostly
1.
making a joke about him being the
I was
drug
super,
Sherpa, so-
yeah.
No, hey,
Oh yeah,
absolutely not. One, just mechanically, although I don't have any skill points, I do have a 4 in wits,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And also, like I feel like I am now seeing things with my third eye, and so I will be able to spot the path through this fence with much greater success than I would without the hallucinogen.
Hugh, please don't
Also,
start
this
that
is
seeing
defense
shit.
to
Let the
your,
rhythm, let the rhythm of nature take hold.
Also,
Hugh,
this is
if you
defense.
start saying I die, I swear to God.
All right, who is actually leading the roll?
It sounds like I am.
I believe it's
what-
you, and I think
I have-
we can both assist. But I'm sorry, go on.
It's no nature.
Yeah, the skill is called no nature.
Yeah, I only have 1 point in that skill, and I
What's your
do
wit score though?
I have a pretty good wit.
Oh well, maybe you should do it then.
Yeah, I also have a 4.
Oh, then
Oh,
you should
okay.
definitely do it.
Yeah, if you have a 4 and then a 1, and then I
Yeah.
can assist you. I mean, it's kind of all the same, but yeah,
Yeah, it comes
you
out either
you
way.
guys are
4
both
and
good
3,
at
4 and 2.
all this stuff.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, no, you should definitely do it. I don't have the skill point in it. I just have the 4 wits.
Yeah, we're just tripping. You should not
Yeah.
trust our judgments.
Oh, I am absolutely talking your ear off about where the hole in the fence is.
Yeah.
You should ignore all of it, but I am confident.
Driving your 2 drunk friends home after
Yeah.
a long night. Am
For
I
the future.
getting any assistance with this?
Yeah, you will get
Yeah, I
one-
can give you assistance.
Yep.
Yeah.
So add 1 skill die to your roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the assistance takes the form of Gamma telling me to shut up. Like, dude, let him cook.
Oh, fuck. Did I get
Hell
off
yeah,
on
dude.
I-5? Oh my god, we did it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Let's go.
My nose is running. Yeah, with 2 successes, it is not very long at all before you have walked along the inner fence a little bit and found a spot where, although the damage looks relatively fresh, like someone else has recently cut it open, you can move through without any sort of incident. Since you are leading the group and you have just passed through the fence, Oni, if you would roll me 9 base dice, please.
Nothing scary at all.
No. That's 9 chances to win. That's what I hear.
You're right.
We don't know what any of it means.
So I get a gun.
Yo.
Like,
Nothing immediate. Don't worry about that. You find a hole in the fence. You know your way relatively well through. You know that there is a trail a little bit north of you that will take you towards the helicopter. It doesn't obviously go right to the helicopter, but the trail is meant to take you to Badger Burrow. Are you looking for an area to bed down, or are you going straight to the helicopter? The helicopter at this point is probably about 2.5 miles away. It would take you basically to early evening if you wanted to go direct. Actually, it would take you to almost midnight if you wanted to go directly to the helicopter.
I feel like camping at the helicopter is a bad idea.
I
I feel like
it is.
staying there that long is dangerous.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree with that, and I also think that as the sun goes down, we're better off if we're camped, if we're sort of holed up for the evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Is to like camp or like not necessarily at the helicopter, but like in the area. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, I think right. We get like near, maybe like an hour walk or something, right? Close.
Mhm.
Maybe even like within eyesight if possible, right? Depending on the layout of the land and everything. But yeah, I think we because like I'm worried like I don't know that we will make a fire, but like if we make a fire in there and then it's like, well, that seems like probably the only lit up thing for a long while.
Yeah, man. If that's the case, do we even want to start a fire? Because we're gonna be starting a fire by the resistance headquarters and everything, or at least like the place we know.
I mean, I don't know that we need a fire. I mean, we're our animals, We got these thick jackets. I mean, a fire would be, a fire would be nice.
Oh yeah, no, I don't fuck with a fire. It's
Yeah.
just We're on the
Uh,
run.
We're on the run. We're on the run.
Are you guys not camouflaged? You can get some mud on you.
Hey, this green is the best I got.
If you are looking at the map of Paradise Valley and you look down in the southwest corner, you find the badger habitat. And you can see not far above the picture of the badger that inner fence that runs east-west, and then there is an
Oh.
inner fence that runs north and south a little to the east of that. Down near the words inner fence on the southern portion of the map, that is about where you are, in a bit of forest that is not super far from a wider, flat, arid plain. The helicopter you know to be west of your current position, west-ish, and would take you about an hour from where you are now, if you were to head directly there.
We think about like getting away from the hole in the fence that we came through,
Naturally.
right? So not camping near there. We think about like just heading down like just a little south of the helicopter, right? We get close to it, but away from this passway.
Yeah.
It seems as good as any.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
that
no.
sounds great.
I'm all for it.
You walk through the evening sky growing above you, the stars beginning to peek out, sounds of insects and the nightlife of Paradise Valley beginning to stir as darkness falls. You find... I'm not even going to make you roll. It's wide enough forest. There are plenty of spots. Although if you want something like especially defensible instead of just a spot on the ground, I guess that falls under no nature check can be made if you want something, especially defensible, especially protected, cave, something like that.
Yeah, I would certainly like that.
Okay.
So,
I would also.
Or you could take the time to burrow because you're a burrower.
right. Well, I mean, I'm sort of thinking like a combination of the two. I'd like to find a spot that is a good spot for me to burrow in because, like, I think just you know, uh, any sort of random spot, like just digging a hole in the ground while makes us a little bit more hidden isn't necessarily great. But if I can burrow into like the side of a hill or something, that's a lot more defensible. Gives us some more escape angles.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe somebody can set up some traps.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm also good at stealth too. We can, work together on this.
Yeah. I can help you with the no nature roll.
Cool. So I'll roll one more die with the assistance on that. Just add that in there.
Okay. So you two guys are doing that. Should I
Okay.
go set up some traps?
I mean, that's up to you. If you want to help with this, I mean, I figure you could then set up traps. But if you want to set up traps while we're doing it or something, yeah, it's all good.
Just a reminder, when somebody assists you, add a skill die, not a base die.
Oh,
I only bring that up because when you push,
Right.
if you choose to push this roll, the skill die cannot hurt you.
okay.
I think I'll help. I help them then, and then I go set up traps.
I'll add
Makes
that
sense.
skill die. Good lord. You know what? It's dangerous, but we are bedding down for the night, so I think I will push this. Let me build this thing.
One success. The push is successful. You find a spot. There is a minor drop off in a hill. Trees still growing all around it. Something you could easily burrow into, however, or
Cool.
set up a an easy facade with branches and stuff to protect your the entrance.
Excellent. And I will also apply just some dumb knowledge that I have that is almost never forget useful. It's almost never relevant. And just because we were talking a little bit about it, this is one of the few times it is. I will uh, dig 2 small holes in the ground, connect them underground diagonally with a third hole, creating a Dakota fire hole, which is a nice little stealth fire. Keeps the entire fire underground, very little smoke, very easy to feed. So we've got a little warmth for the evening without giving our location away.
That's
What?
great.
What the fuck, you?
I spend a lot of time wandering around looking for stuff.
This is incredible.
Yeah, no, this is great.
This is exactly the kind of stuff we were talking about, right? We never thought to do this.
Well, now you know.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not like people say. I'm smart.
Yeah, you
Hell
are.
yeah.
You're totally smart.
Absolutely. I wouldn't even have thought to think of something like this. And you always have the right thing exactly when we need it. See?
Kind of swing the broom handle a bit.
You hear it crack as you swing it.
Well,
You have your den. You setting up traps.
yeah, I'm gonna set up some. Ooh, mm, how we feeling? Are we feeling lethal or non-lethal traps in your chat?
I mean, you're the trap guy.
Uh, you know what? We're gonna do non-lethal just in case they're not accidentally. A bare minimum kill some resistance members on accident.
Yeah. Or a badger in Badgerland.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna have to blame that on you. Nah, I'm not. But here we go. That's what we're rolling. So some non-lethal traps for them.
Okay. You set up some basic snares. Nothing fancy, but enough that you'll know if something moves. Or if something gets caught in it, I should say.
Perfect.
You all settle in for the evening, content with the safety of the traps you've set, the den you've found and expanded, not far from where you know the helicopter has been resting for years. The night passing quietly, each of you finding time to bed down and uh, actually, are you setting watches or are you all just? I'm assuming you're setting watches. Let me rephrase that. If you're not, that's just say that. Otherwise, go ahead and let me know what order you are.
I think Hewlett would like to go first. Both because like it just feels like a natural progression from the like digging out a bit of a shelter, starting the fire, standing around, keeping watch while other people sort of get comfortable. And also because I think the trio of those abilities I am hoping will count as my protecting my current pack so that I can recover a point of instinct.
Seems reasonable to me.
Right. Should I should I make it through watch without getting us all killed, I should say.
A real fear we all have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you cure the doubt?
Well, for instinct, right? It's different for everybody. There, you have to engage in hours of your animal behavior. For the badger, that's protect your tribe or your current pack. But for the reptile, it's take a long bath.
Yeah. Or for me, which is what I'm doing, is hugging this teddy bear.
Oh, that's right. Nice, nice. But yeah, I have 3 different points I need to recover. So I'm doing this. I'm gonna have some food, and then while other people are keeping watch, I'm gonna get my 4 hours of sleep so that I can recover all the various points that I've lost.
Nice.
Damn.
Will you need more instinct recovered?
No, I just have 1 point of instinct
The
that I
1
need
point.
recovered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the bear just works, right?
No, right. I appreciate that. But yeah, I've got 1 point of instinct, 1 point of strength, and 1 point of wits that I need to recover.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so
Cool.
that's that's the protecting the tribe, the ration of food, and 4 hours of sleep.
And don't forget, you will all each need to tick off a ration of food and water, just as the basic necessities
Mhm.
for. Actually, no. I believe I told you not to worry about that since you had the buffet that
Oh, right. That ODB set
buffet.
out for
that
us.
ODB hunted up. Yeah.
Sick. I offer up the rest of the bug parts that I have from the butterfly. Just a few little morsels.
Okay, so Hugh is going first. Second is
I'll go second.
Okay. I go yes.
the night has gone on for a few hours. Hugh, you have settled into sleep, and Gamma, Bieber, you have woken up to take your role in the watch for the evening. Does Gamma just stay in the den watching the door? Are you walking around? What does
Oh,
Gamma's routine look like for this?
on watch? Um, yeah, um, strap the teddy bear on the back and grab my my cudgel and yeah, it's stalk into the night a little bit, brave, and after you take the 10 steps and the sounds of the fire are behind me and now it's only the wilderness. It's a little scary.
It's a little
Uh,
cold.
It's a little cold. I pull my jacket a little closer and kind of see if what stars can be seen. Just look up at those bright shining lights in the sky. I stay close, but I do like a little walk, but I don't want to go far.
A stroll not too far from the den, a quiet night, the sounds of insects, the bright stars above you. There's virtually no light pollution here in Paradise Valley, so there are just an ocean of stars in the sky. You can almost see the swirls of the galaxy itself up against the night.
I think right as I'm not alerted to anything, I think in time I kind of lay back, let the remnants of the drug the drug butterfly, as it's fading and swirling, just watching the lights in the skies and enjoying that sight. And only perk up if something snaps in the darkness, right?
You find a comfortable rock to lean against, a, maybe a bit of rotten stump to put your feet up on. You stare at the swirling in the sky as the sensation of the drugs washes over you, making you feel rocked back and forth just a little bit, peaceful and cozy, and back and forth. a little harder, and you realize that there is a sound steadily building, a roar, but not the roar of a monster, not the roar of a shamble tusk like you fought or anything like that. The roar is coming from all around you, from the stone that you have your back against. And that rocking is not, in fact, part of the drugs. You can feel the ground beneath you is shaking.
Oh shit.
There is an earthquake in Paradise Valley.
Oh shit.
I will need each of you to make move rolls.
God damn it.
Those of you, Gamma, because you are out and about, there is no penalty for you. However, there is a penalty of -1 modification for the two that are... Actually, hold on, let me double check this, that I'm reading this right.
You see what happens when you do
No,
drugs?
sorry. I just need you to... I need everyone to make a move roll.
Okay.
God gets angry when you do drugs. You
Oh.
I don't know. It seems like
Um,
he's pretty pleased with it to me.
yeah, I'm gonna push. Ooh.
Mm, you
Staying
know
with
what?
that, or are you going to push?
We're gonna push it. We're gonna push it. Let's see it.
Oof. So, okay, Hugh, you managed to scuttle your way out of the den as the dirt above you burrowed well enough, but this is still just dug dirt. It's packed dirt. It's not
Mhm.
stable. It's not reliable as the ground shakes around you. You actually have an extra success. So with that, you can give one of your successes to ODB, who is around you, or you
Yeah, I mean,
can...
it seems to me like, given the way this is playing out, ODB is going to be the one in the makeshift den with me, right? So I'd probably give the success to him.
Yeah, makes
with
sense.
that, yep. With that, you are able to essentially haul ODB out as
Mm-hmm.
you move. You wake up before ODB is fully cognizant. Recognize, I mean, you're an underground mutant. This is not anything that you are entirely unfamiliar with, and so you are able to pull ODB out of the den before it collapses. ODB, you do still take the 1 point of fatigue to your agility for pushing the roll, and don't forget to get a feral point for that.
Mm.
Bieber,
Oh, hey, can I use a reroll for is it a
absolutely.
reroll from the recap?
Yep.
Okay.
It is a full-on reroll.
Okay. I will move.
That's when I thought I lost that one fucking fatigue. Get it right back.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Okay. I think then that's the
You do have tenacious if you'd like to push again.
yeah, but is the right? I pushed earlier, right? With the that's the roll with the one failure, and then this would be like the reroll. So am I defaulting to the one failure roll as the like because I did push it, right?
Yeah, for this time, I'll allow. I didn't think about it. For this time, however, if you would like to use your tenacious to push again, I'm not going to deny you your tenacious. You can go ahead and just push the reroll here.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Son of a
Oh
bitch.
God!
Look, this
I shouldn't
earthquake
have said
gets me.
anything. You are outside, so you are not in any danger of the den collapsing on you. There are still, however, bits of branches and bits of forest that come collapsing down on you, and you do take 1 point of damage, in addition to the 1 fatigue for the biohazard symbol. And don't forget to get a feral point as well. It's midway through the night. Your den has has caved in. It's salvageable. It will take you a little while, another hour or so to dig that den out, or you can try to find a new place. This is the result of that 9 base dice, by the way.
Earthquake.
This isn't just me doing this out of the vileness of my heart.
What was that? Everything was shaking.
I don't fucking know, man. It's just fucking.
Would we know what it is? Would any of us know what it is, or is this just terrifying to us?
Apparently, this has a no nature with a modifier of 0, so you can make a no nature check.
All of us?
Yep, each of you. You all just experienced it,
Yeah.
so
Let's go.
it makes sense. I think that Hugh knows,
Yeah.
especially. And Gamma. ODB, remember you don't take that damage because you're not. Well, unless you choose to push, you're not taking any damage here.
Hey,
But
I'm
yeah,
not fucking-
Yeah, no, look, the Earth does that sometimes. It's usually not that big a deal.
you know
I-
that this was a fairly minor earthquake. You have certainly experienced some that were
yeah.
worse than this.
So I mean, all in all, not all that bad. It might be there might be a couple more little shakes, but generally speaking, they're much much smaller than the original. So
It's just because we angered the Watchers earlier.
no. It's got nothing to do with the Watchers or anything. It's a natural phenomenon. Sometimes the ground just does that.
This is a great omen. Don't you see?
What does it mean, Gamma?
What time? What time is it?
It's probably between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
My eyes flash to Big L.
It's the third day.
Okay.
It's today. Don't you feel it? The whole universe is reaching out, telling us.
Telling us what?
Today's the day, my friend.
For what?
Um,
I'm like freaking out, man. I'm like actually freaking out.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Big L.
What? What are you talking about?
I put a hand on Hugh's shoulder. There's nothing to be sorry about, Hugh.
Are you-
He's lived a great life,
Are you guys
seen
fucking
wonderful
with me over
things.
Hey guys. Hey guys. No, seriously. Like seriously. Am I gonna die? What's the-
Mm.
I
This
turned
might be
to
my favorite bit.
I turned to Gamma, and I go, oh no, did I anger the gods by pulling him out of the earth when it shook? Was that it?
You man, you saved my fucking life.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Hugh, you've defied fate.
Oh no, what do I do?
This isn't the day you die. It's the day you live.
Oh, thank
I'm
God!
gonna- Giant hug. Oh my god.
He lives. He lives.
He lives for the future.
Future. Oh my god. I survived. I'm gonna give you a kiss. You- I think I can live with peace of mind for the first time. You're
Okay.
cute.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just want you to know anything you need, I'll help you with it. Anything.
It's very kind. I'm just happy we're all here, and we're gonna uh help the resistance to defy the Watchers and find the humans.
Yeah, that's all. People say, yeah, when people
Huzzah!
say huzzah,
Huzzah! Mm.
yeah, huzzah,
Huzzah!
huzzah.
Huzzah!
Asa. That doesn't sound right. Oh boy.
We're gonna we're gonna work something out here.
Mm. I think one of your traps might have been set off. I took a rock to the face during the commotion.
Oh no.
Yeah, I should probably go check.
I'm just gonna sit down for a while, for a bit. Hey, you think we can get the den rebuilt, or
I'm on it. Yeah, I'll
I,
start redigging.
Yeah, I'll get out some food and water while I wait.
It's certainly
go.
easier to. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say go check my traps with a little bit pep in my step. Not I might not die.
There's a little damage from the earthquake, but it's still functional. You know, some of the cover, the scree cover has fallen away, and you can reset that while Hugh digs out the den. It's certainly easier to dig it back out than it was to dig it in the first place. The ground is already broken up, and the earthquake has uh, dislodged a bunch more, and you end up with a with a slightly larger, if a little less structurally sound den. Your fire hole has been filled in, but it doesn't take you that long to dig it back out. And while you are doing so, uh, the thought kind of comes unbidden into your mind, a memory of the individual that taught you this. It's certainly not one of the more uh, the more common things. Even among the Badger Burrow, I mean, they're in the burrow. They have everything they need there. They don't travel far, but there are travelers that have taught you these things. And it was probably weeks ago that you last saw Adams 42, a tall, towering moose, your friend who occasionally comes through Badger territory and stops in at the concrete buildings, the ones that you have made your home, but which the rest of the Badgers sort of avoid, preferring to be underground, far from the stars, far from the sky, far from the outside and the cold. And it was a cold night, the middle of winter, as you were stupid pencil drawer, huddling in your den, and a familiar clip clopping sound on concrete and the large antlered head poking in through the door.
Adams.
Oh, I was hoping you'd be here tonight. I hadn't seen you in a while. I was passing through. May I come in?
Oh, absolutely. I'd get up and do my best with whatever scavenged materials I have around to clear a spot for him and make it as comfortable as possible. There's a little crate, little wooden crate where a couple of the slats that are broken, but still sturdy enough. I'd been using it to store things. I'd just dump them all out onto the floor and turn the crate over to give Adams 42 a place to sit. Where have you been?
I'm just coming down from the ski center. I figured I'd go see the cats for a little bit, make my winter up near the mountains. And as he settled himself gingerly onto the crate you have offered, you can see that there are a number of bandages wrapped all around him.
Mhm.
Some stained with old wounds, now bloody but scabbed over. Others still somewhat fresh, and most obvious to you, the biggest change, a large metal band like the one that you were threatened with very recently had been wrapped around the large cloven hoof of Adams 42.
Oh, no. How long ago did that happen?
It was only a few days back. I was making my way down, thought I needed some supplies, went into the ski center, and well, the checkpoint between the checkpoint between the mountain and the cats was there, and I went through like you do, and normally they leave me alone, but well, I had just gotten in a scrape with a couple horn bugs, found some tasty little eggs, and I guess, and he gestures to some of the fresher bandages around his legs. I guess the Watchers were a little worried about me, and so they figured that this would let them keep track of me in case I needed help.
Look, I'm gonna do everything I can to find a device to get that thing off of you.
Oh, don't worry right now. Don't you worry. They'll probably take it off the next time. Once I'm healed up, they'll probably take it off.
Well, I certainly hope so, but I'll keep an eye out just the same. And I'd sort of get a little closer to the metal band so I can get a sense of what it is and how it's fastened, and in the back of my mind, start putting together what type of things and what type of tools I think I might need if or might work that I should keep an eye out for to remove this.
Make a comprehend roll for me.
Certainly.
Again, this is flashback, so
Mhm.
you can push without worrying about current.
I will certainly push, but I also think since this is a flashback, I would not have had Tenacious at this point, so that'll be
Got it. Whatever this was, I mean, to look at it, you can see that there is a thick metal band that is wrapped around Adams's legs. You remember the smooth outer side. There are no flashing lights, no wires, no anything that stands out as some sort of weak point to this band. It is a solid metal, a solid piece of metal with Adams's name imprinted on it. Adams 42 in fixed point font just pressed into the metal somehow. You think that if this is just metal, I mean, it would be certainly possible to get off with a hacksaw, provided there was literally nothing else to this. But, I mean, you don't know if there is or isn't, unfortunately.
Right.
And Adams saw you staring at it rather, and laughs his laugh, feeding eventually into a cough as he is still settling in and oh sorry. Don't worry though. Don't worry. Hey, what do you think's going on with in the burrow this time? Do you think should I stop in or should I just leave them be? It's awful cold in here.
Well, I've tried to light a fire here in the structure. I've tried sort of outside a little bit, and I can never get enough cover to keep the fire going with all this wind. It just keeps going out. I wish I had a better way, but I just too windy, I guess, to keep a fire going. I just gotta, curl up in a tight little ball and wrap myself in this blanket. As far as the
Well,
den, yeah, what's that?
I was going to say, I mean, you could go into the burrow with your father there.
Mm,
I mean,
could, but then I'd have to put up with Crosby some more, and I just don't. I can't. Adams, I just can't deal with him. He's always needling me. Always making me feel like I'm 2 feet tall. I'd rather stay out here and freeze than put up with his bullying.
you're going to have to stand up for yourself. I mean, I think that's what your father is waiting for, by the way. He's a warrior, and that's what he respects, don't you know? I've tried so hard to not say "don't you know," and it slipped out.
Right. It's great though. I I do know, but I want him to recognize that I'm trying to fight with my mind. I'm trying to learn everything I can about the humans so I can solve this puzzle that they left for us and figure out what it means. There's just no way they left the Watchers in charge to with no guidance or instruction for us whatsoever. The Watchers just randomly doing whatever they want, whenever they want, and I'll knock the metal band on his leg as I make this point. It's not possible, and I'm gonna figure out what's really going on here, and then everybody will see. Crosby 87 will see, and my dad will see too, that there's other ways to fight besides with your fists. And if that means I just gotta stay out here from time to time and suffer through some cold, well, it'll be worth it in the end. I'll show them.
He listens and looks down at you. It's slightly sad, but tinged with a bit of pride as you continue. And he reaches into the long overcoat, the long jacket that he wears, and pulls out a little flask and unscrews the top. I'll I'll drink to that. Takes a swig, and you can see some of the wounds on his body start to heal up, and he holds it out. This will keep you warm for a little bit. Let me show you here a little something that I.
Oh, I take the flask, take a little swig, and eagerly observe what he is teaching me.
All right, you dig 2 holes. And as he continues to explain, you look around your current den, rebuilt and ready for the rest of the evening.
Yeah,
Which pass?
I just I stare into the fire of the current fire hole as the memory sort of fades, and I come back to the present moment. Um, Thankful for my friendship with Adams that is clearly paying dividends with me and my new friends.
You and your friends rest peacefully for the rest of the evening. There are no noticeable aftershocks, and nothing disturbs the rest of your sleep until the sun peeking in just a little bit is enough to wake you up. The morning is a little cooler, colder winds coming down, dropping the temperatures around you, kind of adding a dampness to the air. Hi. It
Hi.
is early enough in the morning. The effects of the psionic butterfly have finally passed from all of you. You have some time during the day if there's anything you would like to get up to, or if you just want to rest in your den until this evening to attend your meeting with Truffaut. Those of you who have any confusion, I think it is. I'll get these down one day.
Hey, don't worry. I also don't know. So.
Yes, if you have any confusion, you have gotten rest, and that will heal. Excuse me, all your damage to your wits. If you had damage to strength, agility, and have consumed some appropriate food or water, you can heal that. And damage to your instinct, provided you have either a teddy bear or met with your behavioral requirements, can be healed over the evening.
Take off that. It was water for fatigue, right? Water and hour rest.
Correct. Yep.
Here.
If you have lost multiple strength or agility points, you can restore multiple points during that time. And actually, if you have more than one wits, resting for 4 hours restores all of your loss. It looks like instinct is also fully healed instead of just being one.
Yeah, I think wits and instinct are fully, and then the others you have to consume
Food
or
and water
something.
per. Yep.
Take off.
Yeah, I don't have anything in particular that I want to do. I draw, but I don't think I have like paper with me. I think that's all back at the terrarium, like that kind of thing.
Hey, man. We're animals. You're on the mud.
You lose some of the finer detail.
Yeah. You're the one. Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, man. How long have you been drawing?
Hmm. I always was a fair hand at it.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know how old I am. Wait. I'd say I'd probably be drawing for maybe 20 rotations of a leaf.
Mm, quite a while. Quite a
Hmm.
while. Oh my gosh. I never really understood how you made them look that well, but I
About
do. Huh?
it's about seeing, and I've always been good at seeing.
Oh, you know, I want to say I have some good sight, good vision. It's I I just never got it. I just never got. I can't get to it, but I do know how to put things together. You
Oh, well, of course. You could learn.
Uh-huh.
I could show you. It takes time, but same as if I'd try learning your craft.
Mm. Oh, it's honestly not that difficult. It's just knowing some tips. Uh, Actually, Hugh there inspired me earlier when he was not mowing, doing the badger burrowing. That's what it's called, the
Hmm.
burrow. Um, I was thinking about like, what if one day, when he makes a trap, instead of having just the burrow open, we put something over top of it, and then we can hide ourselves underneath it.
Oh, you mean like the trap is us? They fall in and now they're in where we are.
Yeah, yeah, they fall in, or we pop
Right.
out.
And then we're
I mean,
waiting there with knives.
sounds like a good plan, actually. I like that.
Hmm.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Hmm.
What if Okay, I'm nerding out, but that's it for me.
Sounds like you are just you all are going to stay in your den, not far from the helicopter, and wait for early nightfall.
Yeah, it sounds like that. I
I
think we
believe
talk
so.
about different kind of traps that are just holes with us in them.
Well, yes.
Every different trap is just us holding different weapons and it's a
Right.
different kind of trap.
And
Okay,
look,
but
as long as y'all are talking
scale.
about digging holes, Hewlett's going to be engaged in that conversation.
Conversation
What if?
which goes on and on
Right.
and on.
So you mean we wouldn't be stuck in the hole with them? They'd be stuck in the hole with us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah.
Exactly.
Now imagine all of us with big rocks hitting them.
Hmm.
They could not
What
climb up. Their bones would be crushed.
what if okay, this one's gonna be a little out of, left field, but
Okay.
what if instead of us being under there, it was bees?
Bees. Bees. I like that. I like that. How how will we get the bees?
Relocate the hives, obviously.
You're
Hmm.
right.
What could possibly
God.
go wrong? Spend a couple days out collecting hives, remove them from their trees, put them all in a hole, cover the hole, wait for
Mhm.
the enemy to fall in.
Well, we'll have to do something to rile them up, so I figure we shake them real hard and then put them in there.
That's good
Yeah.
thinking.
If you you knock on them real hard enough, they start coming out and get all angry.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we cover the hole with the leaves, because we don't want them to all fly away.
Mm.
Look at me. Damn it, I told you he was the smart one. He's so goddamn smart.
You know, I don't want to brag, but I think we're starting to sound like a couple bears.
Yeah. Rawr.
That's a good bear impression.
Yeah, it is a good bear impression.
You should definitely try that at the with
Yeah.
the bear
I was
you're
just
going to
thinking,
meet.
right.
Night has fallen. The helicopter is a few miles away. I'm sorry, not a few miles away. It's a few hundred yards away, maybe a little bit of a hike, but not much.
Hey,
Yeah, hell yeah, we get there from the meat.
Yep.
And by that I mean we were killing him and eating him.
are we? Yummers.
The familiar helicopter, overgrown with weeds, glass missing from its windscreen, from the doors that lie ajar as you climb through the broken areas and into the hold of this giant metal contraption. Truffaut is there already ahead of you. The same lantern hanging in the cargo hold. A makeshift table set up, not spread with the papers that you saw last time, but just a single map, a map of Paradise Valley. And this map is clearly old, on paper, printed, not drawn. Something from before all of this happened, before whatever it was that drove the humans away. And Wildpaw sits on a bench, I'm sorry, on a crate not far behind Truffaut, and looks up at you all as you enter, but says nothing, and goes back to whatever it was she is doing. Truffaut looks up as you enter, however, from where he is poring over this map. Uh, and gestures to a spread of crates serving as chairs. Come in, my friend. Sit down. Sit down. Ringo tells me you have good news for me.
Mm.
Oh, we've got great news for you.
He just stares at you like, well,
We've brokered a peace between the reptiles and the badgers.
give me details. How did you do this great thing?
Mm.
Let's just say What do we say?
Um, we okay. So what we both did was we got into some talks over, Hugh here. Uh, put my arm around Hugh, our smart guy. Hugh, uh, he, he knows some people up above. This is apparently he's the son of the Badger tribe. Keep losing his fucking voice. And with a little bit of arm twisting, we got pee off to see eye to eye with our negotiation.
At first, it looked like it was going good, and then things went sour. They were almost turning on each other, about to, but then fate.
Fate.
We united against a common enemy, the real enemy, the Watcher.
The Watchers, you say?
Mm. Crashed our little soiree. They were going to take us, tag us.
Yeah, you should have seen these three in combat. They were brave and they were fierce and effective, and their courage and decisiveness in the moment led the way for the leader of the Badger tribe and the leader of the Reptile tribe to join together in combat against the Watchers. Joint purpose
Mm.
between
Mm-hmm.
prior enemies.
Now united against a common foe, but also intertwined with the shame of doing so socially, not being able to call the other one out for fear of being revealed.
And also some begrudging mutual respect,
Mm.
having witnessed the prowess of each sect in combat.
That's quite a story. It's almost unbelievable, but I do believe you. Battle against the Watchers is no small thing.
Hmm.
Every time we fight them, they know more and more of who we are. And when that happens, it makes it easier for them to target us, target those around us, force the others to betray us to them.
Tell you one thing. They know who Bieber 93 is, that's for sure.
He looks at you and chuckles a deep, growling chuckle. We should hope not. If they know who you are, well, things will get very, very difficult for you.
I could see how that's a problem. Well, we were able to destroy all of them, so unless they have eyes everywhere, then I don't think they truly know.
I agree. I think you're safe for now. I have to say, I'm not the only one you've impressed with this. I did a little bit of digging on my way here. I didn't get through the terrarium, but I did stop in to visit in Badger Burrow. I don't know if you know, but Iserman and I go back a little ways. Most of the leaders of the tribes know each other. Have to say, your actions have made a little headway into the hearts of your tribes. They've had volunteers. We've had volunteers.
I look excitedly at my fellows.
See, it's
Okay.
working.
Okay.
From what Ringo tells me, you'll have to be a little more careful in your habitat. Piaf has decided to make a show of her obedience to the Watchers, cracking down. Iserman's a little more lax about it, but that's always been his way. But the people, that's who's starting to wake up, and that's who we need. You've done something I don't think I could have done on my own, and so, if you're willing, I'd like to rely on you a little more. The Resistance could really use your help.
Yeah, I mean anything. What do you
Anything.
guys-
I'm in. I mean, we're in. We're in. We're in, right?
We
Oh
are
yeah,
in.
we're too deep in.
Destruction of multiple Watchers is a hell of a thing for your first time out as members of the Resistance, and so he gestures to the map that is on his desk, and you look down at what we would recognize as sort of like a welcome brochure, basically. Like, think the folded paper maps you get when you go to like the Ren Fair or King's Dominion or something like that. Less detail and more of a general idea of where everything is. He points a clawed finger at Badger Burrow first, and then the terrarium. There are 3 cells in the Resistance right now, not including myself. One is with me in this room. The others are here, and he taps Badger Burrow, and here, and he taps the reptile terrarium. We are going to need to figure out the best way to use our very limited resources. The Resistance is growing, and the Resistance can do great things, but the Watchers are out there, and they are living up to their name by watching for us. What we do, and how we do it, and where we do it, and who we send to do it, these are things that I will that I will ask to help you to help me decide. I will have some missions for you, things that I can't trust to the other cells. I have one such for you soon.
Soon.
And this will also give you soon, yes. As soon as we've discussed this, I will go into the details. This also will give you an idea of which habitats are more friendly to us than others. Let me in the important links section. I hate doing this without Dawson here, but I want you all to be able to give it some thought. I'm going to make a spreadsheet version of this, like an actual Excel that I will put up on a Google Drive so we all have access to it. This is going to get into some of the mechanics of how the resistance will work in game. You can see in the important links channel in the Discord that there is a resistance sheet that lists 8 of the tribes: the dog tribe, cat tribe, ape tribe, rat tribe, basically not the moose tribe. And it has 4 attributes, I guess you could say, per tribe. The population of the tribe, so it's not an exact number, but it's around that number. You can see which populations are the biggest, which populations are the smallest. We'll skip over insurgency. I'll come back to that in a second. You can see that in the reptile and badger tribes, you have 1 resistance cell each. When we take a resistance turn, when we discuss a resistance turn, rather, you will be able to choose from a list of operations to send those cells on things like spreading the word of the resistance, trying to recruit more cells, things like that. We'll go over the whole list in a second. While you are, and then the success of that mission is based on a die roll, and there's a chance of danger and all of that. We'll get into more of the details of what the actual operations are in a second. The insurgency rating that you see in there represents a broad category on how much the Watchers still have a hold on that particular habitat as a whole. I will put this chart in there so you have a sense of what those ratings mean. But essentially, the lower the rating, the more the tribe is still on board with the Watchers, and the more danger there is to the resistance operating within the habitat of that tribe. You can kind of get a sense just by looking at the numbers, with the dogs being at a 5, they are more than happy right now to turn you in. Members of the resistance or the rebellion, anybody who's not necessarily even in the resistance but thinking about it, is keeping a low profile in that area. It's actively dangerous for Drake to use his name David, while he is within his habitat. Here, there we go.
Okay.
As we play the campaign, that insurgency rating will vary a bit from where it is right now. Obviously, some of the operations that you do will raise that. At the same time, as the game runner, the Watchers are doing things as well. They are trying to stamp out the resistance. They are rebuilding their damaged numbers. They are doing whatever they are doing behind the scenes. And similar to you sending cells out, I have a certain number of Watchers to send out on operations. Your group as a cell can also perform these operations. But whereas we just do a quick roll for the NPC cells, and then we'll describe that through play, when you pick whatever you're doing, that becomes what we're playing through. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got it.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I got it. Next week.
There is.
How does this work again?
I feel yeah. I feel like obviously, we all have different ideas. I think it's like maybe we do a snowball like effect, right? Cultivate first, build,
Yeah.
swell the numbers, and then steamroll into larger things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm
Okay.
all for that.
This is the list of operations on which you can partake, as well as send the resistance cells that you do have. In this case, one cell in the Badger tribe and one cell in the Reptile tribe. Things to do. There's the type of operation, spreading the word, demonstration, all the way through assault, including a brief description. The way success and danger work. And you can see those as columns in that table. There's a number of dice. It says base dice. I don't think it actually matters. This is not a trait roll, so there's no pushing. The success chance is the number of dice that you roll. There's a modification there are a couple modifications for both the insurgency rating, meaning that it is certainly more dangerous to operate in places like the Dog Tribe. Conversely, in areas with high insurgency ratings, it's easier to operate. The people are more sympathetic to what you are already trying to do. There is also a danger rating. Danger rating is represented by gear dice. Essentially, explosion symbols on the gear dice generate danger for your cells. Your cells can be caught, they can be captured, they can be killed. And then would have to be recruited again if you wanted to operate in that area. We are going to kind of go slow on these because obviously this is a lot to grasp all at once, including for myself, since I've got to also handle the Watcher decisions. And the way that I would like to do this, because I have to decide what the Watchers are doing at the same time that you decide what you want your resistance cells to do. I don't decide in response to what you're doing, is what I'm trying to get at. We decide at the same time. What basically I will do is when we call for a strategic turn, which will happen periodically, and we are doing the first one essentially right now. Your cell will be given a mission momentarily by True Thought. You can decide what the other cells are doing, and this is a conversation that you are having with True Thought. For the first couple turns, I am happy to play True Thought and help you decide what, steer you away from, say, making an all-out assault on the Dog Tribe right now.
I don't know. It seems pretty easy, Ted. There's only one option, and it's the one called Purge. I think in Reptile Land we spread the word, and I think in Badger Town a little demonstration, right?
Allow me to clarify. Let me clarify one quick thing. Your cells do not have to operate in their own habitat. You can send them to other habitats. The farther away they are, the more dangerous that is for them because they have to travel that distance. But they can operate. Each cell is not limited to its own habitat. Each cell can operate anywhere you want to send them.
Yeah, all right.
So, insurgency rating modifies chance of success. Distance traveled modifies the danger. I can actually put those charts in there as well.
What do you guys think about?
I wish I could just print out the pages and give you the pages, but they mixed the
like your stuff.
There's other shit on
they
those
they
pages.
mixed the Watcher stuff in the same pages
Awesome.
as
Super helpful.
Yeah, as
what do you guys think about trying to recruit from the Rabbit Tribe, which is at 65 insurgency, which is pretty good. And then I either trying to recruit from ape tribe, right? Because if success, that's 2 more cells, right? Huge. Or maybe a little more slow. I think trying to recruit from rabbit right away is like big time good gamba.
Yeah, like I think it's probably a little more aggressive than I was thinking, but I think you're right. I think it's definitely a good gamble, and I could be down for that. The other thing that I'm actually thinking is, um, particularly given what the fight we just had, right? And the fact that prior to that, we had a little bit of disagreement with some people in Dogtown. They knew we were heading out for this thing, and then there was the big fight with the Watchers, right? I'd like to spread a little disinformation in Dogtown.
Yeah, I like that.
It feels. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, what about I had the same ideas, but honestly in Reptile Land.
Okay.
Given the context of hearing that Piaf is putting the boot down, right, as
Right.
like the trying to distance themselves from what has happened, right? In that way, that might help us like specifically. But obviously it's just a idea. I like disinformation in Dogtown. We don't have to recruit in Rabbit Town, but like if that pops off at the start, I think that's big.
You're the more I think about it, the more I like it, because it's like maybe I'm too optimistic or too naive about the way this system plays out, right? But I think that if it pops off, if we're successful, that's a huge leg up to have that additional cell this early, right? And if it's not successful, it does feel like the failure is early enough that we can recover from it.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. It could be it's so early in that this is like it bricks
Then
the
it dooms
run.
us, right?
Yeah, bricks the run for a while.
That's all right. I've breaks plenty of characters before. That's fine.
Yeah. But
And-
the if it's at 65, then just based on the information that we have, it looks like they'll get a +1 to their chance of success. Although their danger modifier goes up by 2, so that then the danger is 3. Not that we even understand what that means, but
keep in mind you control each cell individually. So you could send the reptile cell to recruit the rabbits, and because they are next to each other, they are neighboring habitats, the danger modification would only be +1.
oh,
Does that make sense? Because they're going from the reptile habitat to the rabbit habitat.
oh yeah.
Whereas if you sent the badgers, because they are not neighboring, it would be +2.
Yeah, honestly I wasn't even really thinking I guess I was looking at the badgers, but I wasn't thinking like this one, that one. I was just looking at the rabbit tribe is so far away. There's no way where anybody is next to them.
Actually, no, I guess you're right. The rabbits are that far away because that is bear territory between the reptiles and the rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Oni? You were muted for a little while.
I was listening, wanted to let people go. Me personally, I was thinking about at least trying to start the mending of the relationships between the rat and the cat. But first, I want to do reconnaissance over there in the cat tribe.
Oh.
And let's see, the one. I guess. Also spreading. Oh, I guess what is the name of it right here? Do
I'm spreading the word.
spreading. Yeah, spreading the word the in either of the badger or the reptile tribe is also good. Just I feel like with the reptiles, just so we can have like more people here. Uh, we already kicked up a little bit of dust around it, and people probably are talking. I did have a question though,
Mhm.
and this is I'm not sure if just like the lore of the world worries about the mechanics as well. But like, if I remember correctly, you said the rabbits kind of don't really fuck with the predators. And
You remembered that, did you? Yeah, the
yeah,
rabbit
so
tribe is, you all know, a little bit isolationist, a little bit xenophobic. They are one of two tribes that are purely herbivores, whereas most of the other tribes here are largely carnivorous. The rabbits are the prey animal, and so they have sort of isolated themselves away from the meat eaters, which is what they call the majority of you.
yeah, so I think it would. I feel like it would be good for us to get a cell within the ape tribe, so then we can move our way to the rabbits, because at least they have a neutral
Mm.
rapport with everybody, and they're not going to be like, "Oh, the reptiles are coming over here."
Also, one thing to keep in mind, success or failure of your choice of mission for yourselves is not determined by this table at all.
Right? Don't we have to
That's
go on
determined
an
by what,
adventure?
yeah, that's determined by what we play out. Now, success chance should give you an idea of how difficult the thing you're attempting will be. If you intend to go launch a large scale attack against a watcher or loyalist target on your own, that's a dangerous thing. That's why it's got the highest danger rating and the lowest success chance. But it's certainly better for you to do it than it is for a tribe, or I'm sorry, for a resistance cell that is just going in blind. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not favorable for any cat dealings because their number is 10. They're basically dogs. So chances of anything happening successfully there is low. I think we have to push dogs and we have to push cats. I think we can only safely send our boys to places where there's like just better chances for them. Um
Mhm.
just numbers wise, right? So like
Right.
ape, I like the idea of like getting towards Rabbit Town. Um
Yeah, and actually,
uh
like if we're just talking about insurgency percentage of the population, the uh, the percentage for ape tribe is actually better than it is for rabbit tribe.
well, I don't think it's not correlated like that. It's just your
Mm.
insurgency is a rating, and then on the table, right? Like it's
Mhm.
if you're this to this, you get a -2. You know what I mean? So like
Oh, I gotcha.
percentage it doesn't like mechanically play a factor into anything.
You asked earlier the way that the danger rating works. When you go to roll for the cell to succeed or fail, you add a number of gear dice equal to the danger rating. They cannot contribute successes, but explosion symbols cause the death of a cell per explosion symbol. If you ever sent multiple
Mhm.
cells to do the same thing. What that does mean is that a mission with a danger rating of 0, spreading the word, disinformation, or reconnaissance, cannot cost you a cell.
Mhm.
So even in an area with a low insurgency rating, while that may make your success chance lower, failure to succeed does not cost you a cell.
Unless they're
Gotcha.
neighboring or not neighboring, because then they're adding danger. So it's
Correct.
it's not a absolute 0. We still have to consider the modifications to it.
Absolutely. That is
Right.
correct.
So spreading the word in Dogtown, or sorry, spreading the word in Rabbit Town is still dangerous.
Correct.
Which I think it doesn't necessarily equate to the rabbits being the danger there. I mean, it's the watchers there, but it could be just watchers along the way get them, that kind of thing.
It could be the monsters of Paradise Valley.
Yeah, it just goes wrong. The
Yep.
whole thing's go wrong. And you were saying, okay, so what if we have one cell and let's say 3 danger, and it goes bad 3 times. We only have the 1 cell to risk, so all we would lose is the 1 cell.
Correct.
But if we had 3 cells, we'd lose 3 cells.
Correct. Adding more than 1 cell to a specific operation increases your success chance.
Yeah, if we put
by
all on that same
2
thing.
extra dice per extra cell that you send to do it. So, for instance, if you send 2 cells to launch a pinpoint attack in the bear habitat, and you're sending 3 cells, you would roll a total of 10 dice. 6 for the first cell that launches the mission, 2 extra dice for the second cell, and then 2 extra dice for the third cell.
And the success chance that that's number of die.
That is the number of base dice you roll. If
Yeah.
you roll a single success on any of those dice, you succeed.
You succeed.
The mission succeeds. It is possible for a dangerous mission to both succeed and cost you a cell.
Mhm.
If you succeed on the base dice and roll explosions on any danger dice.
Right. They achieve the mission, but it costs them everything.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
Well-
where I wish that this was in Foundry, so that you could roll dice without seeing what you rolled, and then you
Right.
would find out the successes. But that is something for a potential Foundry change. Chance of success cannot go below 1 die. No matter what, you will always roll 1 die, even if the insurgency rating is really low.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still favorable. I think trying to recruit in Rabbitland early, if successful, gives us 3 cells to work with, which is pretty big. I mean, it took a lot for us to get the 2 that we have. So to potentially get another one early, but if we do want to take it, a little slower, we could build, ape numbers up. We could build, rabbit numbers up. I just see those as good starting places, just because our chances of success are good. So
right,
that's the snowball, right? We start easy
right.
to then work
Well,
on the things that are a
Right.
little
I mean,
more
I
difficult.
think I agree with you, but to me, it seems like if we're going to go with the snowball strategy and risk as little as possible to to start building momentum, right? Then what we're talking about is spreading the word, disinformation, reconnaissance in the reptile and the badger locations to build up those insurgency numbers in those locations so that they're more likely to have more success when we send them out.
Yeah, I mean that does work. They're just lower numbers, so they'll take a longer time to climb. Where if we got if we we got the 3rd cell, that then we can also be doing that
Right,
in addition to other things.
right,
That's
Well,
I think
you know what?
we have a
Let's-
high chance of success on that.
right,
But
Let's- let's
obviously it's a
send
group
the-
decision.
right. Let's send the reptiles out to the ape tribe to try and recruit another cell.
Ape tribe.
They're right
that's
next door.
Next door. Flat chance of success. They're neighboring, so it's only plus, so they'd have a +2 on the danger. Or sorry, just 2 on the danger. What do you think, Tony? You're a gambling man.
I like it. It's up to you. I do want to get some recruitments with the apes.
Okay, I mean, it sounds like we all think that's a good
Yeah.
a good thing. What do we think the next thing to do after that is? Do we want to do something more close to home with the badgers or reptiles? Also, if we send both to the apes, could
Mhm.
we spread the word to gain the insurgency high, make number big, and then try to recruit? right? We send both cells, stack the order so the one goes before the other. This I'm asking Ted, not the
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying if you were to send both of them to a single habitat, like in this case, you send the badgers to the ape habitat to spread the word, and then send the reptile cell into the ape habitat also to do recruitment. Would the insurgency increase from spread the word apply before the recruitment is rolled? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, not that would it is, can we, right? Is like, we have two things going on. Can we just order them so it's favorable? I mean, they both have to happen. And,
Yes.
they both have to happen.
I see what you're saying. I was double checking. God, I wish they had separated this book out a little better. I might just have to like redact sections and give you the blocks. But yes, I think that is certainly reasonable. So these turns cover a nebulous amount of time. So in this case, it makes perfect sense that you would be able to send in one cell and then send in the other, so that those things would snowball on each other.
Lay the groundwork. And,
Exactly.
and an interesting, tactic, right? Since this part is really kind of more numbers and tactic
Yes.
based,
Yeah.
than the others.
It also means that, if there are watcher operations in that habitat, then, then both of your cells are at more risk.
Mm.
So
Just also a question. I see that there's 12 turns and not,
that's just,
more.
I'm assuming, what fits on the piece of paper.
Okay.
That number can be as high or as low as we need it to be for the purposes of our campaign.
Okay. Just curious.
Vaguely speaking, each of the turns is supposed to be a month. And then, like, they say that, and 2 sentences later, they're like, but if you need a resistance turn to be a week, that's fine too. Or even a day. And I'm like, why do you do
Right.
this? Why do you do
Helpful.
Yeah. Well, I think so. I think like you were saying, right? It depends on what we want to
Yeah.
do. Okay. We want to recruit in the ape tribe. So what do we want to do with the second cell? We want
mean, my gut tells
reptiles to
me-
apes.
Yeah.
What do we want the badgers to do?
My gut tells me we do something a little bit more conservative with them. Whether it's trying to spread the word within the ape tribe, maybe doing some reconnaissance in dog tribe, right? Or some disinformation.
I
I
I don't like doing I don't like doing anything on the low numbers. I feel like
Okay.
that is for us to do because the chances
Gotcha.
of success are 0. Let's be real clear and honest about
Mhm.
this. These modifiers in the game are wild. And we're talking -2s stacking, right?
Mhm.
These people are primed for failure, and we're priming them to lose, and we're priming us to lose.
Right.
So anything in there, I think it's either too slow to matter or we have to do it. And we should be taking advantage of the higher numbers first, if anything. Even if, like, yeah, the distance makes it harder, they're getting modifiers in other ways that the others aren't. I just think that, like, it's stacked already in favor in that regard, right? And then it also shows us like places that we could go to have adventure because we are needed, instead of other people. That's just I look at these numbers and I just see it bad when it's low like that. But if we want to do like spreading the word elsewhere, I think thematically it makes sense, but I don't think thematic translates to mechanic for this part of the game, right?
Mhm.
just because we'll like it. It won't actually help us. The 5 goes to an 8. Who cares? Right? We have wasted an opportunity with that.
Gotcha.
I think we would be better served doubling down on Ape Tribe, doing something maybe with Rabbit Town. Although that's so far away, I think we need to establish a
Right.
hold in Ape Town. So yeah, maybe Badger Town, Reptile, Rat Tribe. Those are all also good places to start things.
Well, I mean, why don't we have, since it sells in Badgertown, why don't we have them trying to um, either spread the word or do some reconnaissance in Badgertown? They won't get any penalties because they're not moving anywhere. They're doing it in their habitat.
And the reconnaissance, if successful, gives a +4 to any operation in the badger habitat the next turn we take.
Mhm.
So then that we'd be priming ourselves with
Mm-hmm.
reconnaissance, right, to then do a thing in Badgertown.
Right.
And so we actually have to think if we're doing those kinds, we have to think the next step beyond, right? Because then we have to take a next step in that same place. So if we reconnaissance, that +4, and is that adding like 4 more die? 4 skill die?
For a chance of success, it'll be
Yeah.
base dice, but yes, you get 4 extra dice. So
Right. So 4 extra dice. See, I think then that reconnaissance,
Mhm.
that reconnaissance turns into recruitment, right?
Right.
So then we're talking about the Badgertown investment is to a turn to recruitment.
Hmm. Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
Tony,
heck,
you on board with that?
I mean,
Yeah.
hell, if you want to, I mean, it's a little bit of a hike, right? We could send the Badger sell to Ape Town to um do some reconnaissance.
And recruit an Ape Town next turn
Right.
could do that. It's certainly, we have that'll increase the chance of success a
Right.
lot heavier for sure.
Or maybe instead of reptile recruiting there this time, send the reptiles to do recon in Ape Town with the plan of having them do, if there's a success, having them do recruitment next.
Yeah.
Right. And then either spreading the word or a demonstration in Badgertown by the Badgers. Right? Try and get those numbers up to well, I mean, we're not going to get the numbers up there. We're stuck in that second tier for a while. Although we got to do it at some point. Otherwise,
We got to
it's
do
not
it at
going to
some
happen.
point. Yeah.
I-
Even the
I-
low numbers, technically we
Yeah.
have to, at some point we may want to start building, those two. So
let me also interject. At the
Mhm.
start of each strategic turn, I was going to get
Mhm.
go over this and or have us do this in just a second. The very first thing of every strategic turn is that the insurgency rating in every tribe increases by a d6, just automatically. This is just a natural response to being captive animals, to having the Watchers doing what they do, pestering you. So independent
Oh.
of the operations you decide, insurgency does slowly go up on its own. So even if you ignore a habitat entirely, its insurgency can go up.
actually pretty good. It helps change the math a little,
Yeah.
knowing that like it's not all like we're not the only drivers of that number.
To put in vague term, what my operations do is the Watcher operations have a chance to pacify tribes, to reduce the insurgency rating, to make it harder for you to succeed in that habitat should we end up in the same place. That's largely what I do. I think the easiest way to make sure that none of this is, or to make sure that this is all being done, is when we are doing a strategic turn. I will decide at the end of the operation that you all do what the Watcher response is then, before you all decide what you're going to send yourselves to do. Since the Watchers are intended to be a little more reactive to what has happened, rather than, proactive as proactive as your PC cells. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. I will also highly encourage you all to get like a Discord group chat going with Dawson, so that you all can plan these, in advance and discuss them. Not that you can't do it in game, obviously, but just if you want a way to discuss them without me listening in until I get my spy.
Oh, spy.
Turn one of you into a spy. It'll be fine.
I'd die before I'd rat out my friends.
That's what they all say.
Gamma, why are you saying that into a flower that you have in your lapel all of a sudden?
But what's that?
You said what about the resistance? You said that a little louder.
Can you say that about the resistance and lean a little closer? Say a little loud.
You know, my ear was going bad.
Okay, I
Oh,
typed in
also-
the general chat. We have we have agreed on this, right? Turn 1 reptile to Acon, Ape Recon, turn 2 Prime Reptile, Ape Recruit, right?
That sounds right.
That's our big plan for that cell.
Yeah.
Just to so that we are on the same page, if you look under the effect category, the effect column on PC operations, some of them say capacity minus D6 or minus 2D6 or minus 3D6. Capacity is a rating that applies to the Watchers. It goes from 0 to 100 and is basically how many Watchers you got, not in strict numbers. I don't have a hard limit of 100 Watchers, but is essentially a rating. That rating determines how many groups I can send out to do stuff. Basically, how many cells I have, although mine are not really cells. They're squads of Watchers. The lower my capacity, the less cells that I have to do stuff with, or the less squads that I have to do stuff with. That does not go down on its own. It goes down when you do stuff, and it goes down if I do particular actions as well. But that's what that means. And that's why you might consider taking those actions at some point. Obviously, because they are direct warfare against the Watchers, they represent the most danger. Just so we're on the same page about what that means.
Yeah. So we want to have the Badger tribe spread information, right? We want them to play a little safer. Yeah. And where do we want them to do that? Within the Badger tribe? Do it in a neighboring place?
Yeah, I mean, looking at these things, I'm thinking it'd be nice to try and bump one of those 25s, in terms of insurgency, up to the next level, up to, what is it, 41?
Yeah, we got to get to 41. Yeah.
And so I'd say have the Badger tribe do stuff in the Badger tribe, right? They're 25. We got to get them bumped up anyway, whether it's spreading the word or public demonstration, depending on how much risk tolerance we have.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then if Ape Tribe works out, right, then like turn 3 Reptile Tribe can start working on Reptile Tribe
Yep.
again, right? Granted that they still exist.
Yep.
Right? We're banking on successes here.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that's the way you got to plan.
Yeah,
right?
we're planning on our
you know, if
success.
if you're planning on failure, then you got big problems.
Yeah. So, it leaves reptile growth for, turn
Mhm.
3, but I think that's okay if
Mhm.
if we gain
Yeah, if we get
ape.
another cell out of it, hell yeah.
Yeah. Um and even from ape, like, where's bear is low too, right? It's just getting to the rabbits, right?
Well, I
Is
mean, I think
Always
you
go there
know,
yourself.
yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I don't know how well
Yeah.
that's going to work out for us, but um, I mean, depending on how high up we get, what our success looks like in the ape area, they might be our best shot at converting the rabbits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think if it's me, right, I think just having the badgers sort of spread the word, right? It's a little bit more conservative, right? But has a much lower risk associated with it. And thematically, it sounds sort of right. Like there's a whisper campaign about Iserman 33, right? Having just defeated some watchers in combat. It's not something that is ready to be out in the open yet, right? But people are talking.
Yeah, maybe there's rumors they heard, maybe,
Yeah.
some kind of crazy lizards going around killing watchers.
Right.
Oni, how do you feel about Badger plan?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a good plan. I
Yeah,
see why not.
would you want to do it differently?
Would I want to do it different? I mean, I have no problem with it. I'm more of, like like if I was just to play this by myself and like this was just like a regular like video game, uh, how I do it, I'm more of like on the end of like building our base floor of having like a little bit of resistance everywhere and then spreading it out. But I think that would just be too long.
I think it'd be too
Um,
long. Yeah, given
yeah,
that we play this once a week, uh, in our real lives,
yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, like a huge, because eventually that plan overwhelms everything, right? You eventually your numbers are just so big at that point. But of course, we don't know what the watchers or effects are going to be and all that.
It's what else?
And I think when we get some more cells going,
Mhm.
we can absolutely start spreading, those numbers around. Sounds like we're all agreed on the Badger plan as well.
All righty. I was just trying to hunt around and see if I could find form fillable PDF versions of these, but I cannot for some reason. I think that's something that they would put. I even went to their website and they're like, we have separate watcher sheets and this and that sheet. And I'm like, excellent. This is exactly what it's not form fillable. It's just a blank PDF that I could
Awesome.
print. That helps me not at all. But I can put it into an image viewer and get it going during the week. So it works as long as you do what you're doing and just drop it into Discord. We're only worried about week 1 for now.
Yeah.
It sounds like after some discussion, you suggest to Truffaut that the reptiles should recon into the ape habitat and the badgers should spread word within their own den. Prepare to try to increase the sympathy to the resistance in each of those locations. Actually, if one of you will do me a favor, since it is the start of the dog, ape, cat, rat, rabbit, reptile, bear, badger, sorry. We'll go ahead and get the dice done to increase the insurgency naturally and see where we're at. I leave it up to you all if you want to just take turns. If you want to have somebody roll, it doesn't matter to me.
Who's got hot dice tonight?
Well, it's not me. So
Sounds like you should roll then.
Just one base die, please.
Yeah, you got it.
The insurgency increase, I'll just start at the top. Dog, ape, cat, rat, go down the line.
You're rolling individually for each one?
Yes, they are done. Say, ooh, +5 for the dog tribe. Nice.
That sounds like psycho behavior, Ted. Like, honestly.
I mean, it's just what it says. I wish I could just. I mean, I could because I'm.
Can't
the
you?
DM,
Look, if it was me, fuck that. We're doing how many rolls every time? No, you get one roll that applies to everything. For good or for ill.
I mean, I'm fine with that, especially for turn one, since we'll see how this whole thing works out. Depending on how long between strategic turns, it might not be a big deal, or I may just roll physical dice outside of having to deal with it in the thing.
If you could tell this thing, like, roll 30 die, show me each individual one. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
fine.
I think you could just /roll 7d6, right?
I suppose you could, yeah. And then you can just go left to right, as your order.
Yeah. Damn. Those are some high numbers.
But did you want us to roll individually, like, because that's how the game says it should work, right? So for this one, do you want us to roll individually for you?
Oh yeah, if somebody wants to do that, you can stick with. Oh, you can't see my rolls.
No, we can't see your rolls.
Sorry.
Do you
yeah, I
want?
forgot about that.
I'm fine with Adam. I don't know how you feel, but I'm fine with only rolling all of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then maybe next turn someone else does
Yeah.
all for it.
Yeah, so just do a /roll 7d6.
Okay.
7 or 6 because he rolled this die.
I'm including that one. I'm using that for the dog. There are 7 tribes beyond that.
Gotcha.
Damn.
That's a good spread.
All right, where'd my eraser go? That is just another pencil. That is not an eraser. So the dogs go up by 5. The apes go up by 5. The cats go up by 3. Rats go up by 5. The rabbits go up by 1. The reptiles by 6.
Hell yeah.
The bears by 6, and the badgers only by 1. Okay.
Hell yeah, One. Good rolls, good rolls.
Yeah. Crushed it.
That is the insurgency phase of a strategic turn. Second step is the planning phase, which we actually did first. In the future, we'll do that roll first because that may actually, cause some breakpoints, and that may change where you decide you want to send stuff. Does not seem to be the case this time, since I don't think anybody is close to a break point to begin with, if I remember that sheet correctly. We will go ahead and roll the success or failure of those missions, although they have not taken place quite yet. They will take place during the same time as you all taking your specific resistance action. Sometimes, as in the case tonight, that will be prescribed for you. It's part of the campaign, or it's something that's come up and needs to be done. In that case, there's not necessarily an effect like you would see, insurgency increase or whatever, but will have the effect of whatever it is you do. Success or failure of your cell operations will have been determined, as will the Watcher actions, and those will all be essentially backdrop to what it is that you all are, to the bit that we play through. So, in this case, you are spreading the word. No. You are reconning the ape habitat. This has a success chance of 8 dice. The ape habitat has a starting insurgency. Why? Why would I close the sheet?
Apes are at 45, but I don't know what got added to them.
Oh, that's a good point. The ape tribe is at 50, so they're still in the same category of 41 to 60. So it stays at 8 dice. You are sending the reptiles to do that, which are a neighboring a neighboring habitat. So that adds 1 danger die to the base danger of 0. So I need someone to roll 8 base dice and 1 gear die.
Do we think whoever's turn it is to rolls all the missions?
I leave that to you all.
I kind of like that idea that like it's it's your turn, and so you're manning the resistance in that moment.
Yeah, I dig it.
But if we want to spread it out that way, not just one person, but I think it's fun not being the one and getting excited to see someone else's success.
How do you feel about that, Oni? Since that would put you on the hook this session.
Hey, fuck it.
Nice. There you go. What was it? 8 skill die and 1 gear die? Is that what you wanted?
That's correct.
Okay, and if the gear die explodes, they die.
Yes, although this early I may hand wave that a little because it is early and we are going through this for the first time. But we'll see. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Ted, let him die.
Maybe they don't
Wait,
die. Maybe they're just
you may
captured.
hand wave the danger. Full on assault on dog trap.
Yeah.
All right, Oni. 8 base dice, 1 gear die, please.
I do have a question on the. Let's say I'm making this roll. No, well, not me. Let's say anyone's making this roll. Could they use the free reroll from the like a recap on a resistance roll?
Boy. You know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Oh, that's spicy.
That is spicy. But you do have to reroll all the dice, including any danger dice.
Yeah. It could still go bad, but that's a powerful reroll, I think. Do you push these at all?
No, because this is not a trait roll.
Right.
Hello.
Well, it is what
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
It's the dice.
I'm just making my notes. Sorry.
Hey, a revolution always has a slow start.
It's a slow start. It's a slow burn, right? Look, the apes are cool.
right? They're they're warmed up. We just got to get them a little hotter.
Look, they know something. They know something deeper here. They
Yeah. There's
All right.
discontent for sure.
We'll see how that plays out. And then if you would roll 10 base dice for the badgers spreading the word within their own habitat.
now
Their
watch this.
it's actually only 9 base dice. Their insurgency rating is low enough that there is a -1 chance of success.
So we got
So
9
it's
base dice.
9 base dice, 0 gear dice.
Watch this. Watch this shit.
Also,
right
if
here.
you all end up deciding you'd prefer that I rolled these, 1 success, that's all you need. Roll a die for me. Any die. One singular die.
All right, watch this.
Get it.
You say any die?
Yeah, any die. I just need a D6.
Oh, just D6. Okay, I'll go to roll a D100.
I meant like base skill or whatever, but yeah, that any D6 roll. Another 5
All
points
right,
for the
yeah,
Badger
cool.
tribe.
Okay. Hey,
Alrighty.
Oni, thank you. That's a success, my man.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
nailed it.
Yep.
And honestly, a 5? That's great. That's incredible. So what does that put Badgers at right now?
They have gained a total of 6 this turn, so they are up to 31.
Okay.
Nice.
They have not changed category quite yet, but they are significantly closer to that 40 mark.
You're paving the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of these things going well and no one dying, I'd say that's a win.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
You all you sit around the table that Truffaut has created, debating where to send your cells, what sort of things they should do, what sort of dangers they might face. And Truffaut listens and interjects every now and then, but mostly lets you all discuss and plan. Once you have decided where to send the various cells, he says, he nods and scratches his chin thoughtfully and says, I will send word to those cells. They will do as you have suggested. For you, however, I have a potential mission for you, an idea. You can tell me no, you can do what you think might be more useful for the resistance efforts, but I think this will be a key step that we need. He pulls out from underneath the desk a small canteen and a number of glasses. Some are cracked, some are dirty, but he wipes away as much of the smudge as he can before pouring a very cloudy liquid from the canteen into each of the glasses and passes one out to each of you. The smell of moonshine is pungent even before the glasses get anywhere near your nose. Your senses can already tell you that this is alcohol. And Truffaut takes a small sip from his glass before saying, the resistance is growing day by day, but no matter how many cells we recruit, we cannot defeat all the Watchers. There's so many of them, and even our strongest weapons sometimes can't penetrate that armor of theirs, or do noticeable damage before the people fighting get killed. But I've heard a rumor of a weapon. Something from the old age, before the humans went away. A machine-killing rifle. It fires some sort of energy that just passes right through their metal, kills them from the inside, but doesn't harm living things. I didn't believe it at first, but my source says he's seen it in action. Calls it an EMP rifle. I don't know what that is. An EMP.
Damn.
He knows where it is. Knows where it can be found. It's in the lodge. It's in the outpost of the dog tribe. When he says
Oh.
dog tribe, he kind of sneers and then spits onto the ground before turning to look at you all, especially looking over at Drake and saying, "Sorry."
That's all right.
It's passionate movement.
They're not. It's good to be suspicious, but some are okay. I mean, the chef at the lodge is actually very nice. Is the chef your source?
I don't think so. I don't know the chef,
Oh.
but my source is a dog. Oh my god, I wrote down this name. Where did it go?
Hmm. Bet they have a really cool code name.
Hey, you know, a dog reduces it a lot for us.
I'm sorry. He's a dog tribe member. He's there's a fox, a scavenger named Aldrin 97.
Maybe
Oh.
Drake knows them. We should ask when he gets back from, his business. So what, we go there, talk to this contact of yours, ask him for the EMP, and then, what?
Well, my source doesn't have the EMP. The EMP is in the collection of a little collector, a little fella named Gagarin. Doesn't live in the main cabin. Lives in a little building outside. I don't know that he will give this up. If he won't, you'll need to find some way to acquire it. Trade for it. Steal it. Kill him and take it. I doesn't matter to me. I thought you were going to post the Catherine Zeta-Jones.
So they don't want to get rid of it.
Oh, they'll give it up.
Maybe we just have
Give it
to.
up smooth.
Oh. Oh, okay. I see your plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
He gets it.
I don't know how you want to go about it. You'll also need a reason to get into the lodge in the first place now. Thankfully, your friend is a member of that tribe. So that's at
Well,
least one in.
I don't know.
If you
we need a-
want, Ringo does business there all the time. No one ever turns Ringo away.
True. Oh,
Ringo is pretty cool.
We're known in Dogtown. I think they'll let us in. So we talk to your contact, find out where the Emp is, go get the Emp, and then use it to kill all the Watchers, freeing us all.
Eventually, yes.
Incredible. A single weapon can kill all of them at once.
Maybe. I've never actually seen the thing. I don't know how it works or what it does. Aldrin has all of that. I don't think it's quite that powerful. If it was, the Watchers would have never let it out of their control. And that's the other thing. Using this, well, it's going to make other operations in the future a lot easier. But if the Watchers find it, well, that's a strong weapon out of our arsenal. Something that makes it that easy to take down the Watchers is going to be crucial in the battles to come. You'll need to keep it safe.
Oh, don't worry about that. I raise my glass up in a cheers.
If this is like the guns that I've read about, then I think we'll be just fine. To parrot a phrase of the humans,
as I raise my glass up,
strawberry jams, but my Glock don't.
When you get the weapon, bring it back here. Keep it safe, but bring it back here. We'll figure out the best time to use it going forward. The more we use it, the more likely it is to be lost, and I don't want to not have it before we, well, make our bid for freedom.
You can count on us. Your number one crew. The best of
Haza.
the best.
What was that, Adam?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, when people were saying huzzah earlier,
Oh.
Hewlett said Haza, and so he
Haza.
thinks that's now the affirmative.
Haza.
okay. I thought you said Honda, and I was like, what?
An ancient human deity.
Yes, Hansa.
Mm.
There's a Huzzah. Huzzah. That's not- It has a weird throat feel to it.
Mm.
I do think that the course of freedom for the animals of Paradise Valley, it goes through you. I have my other cells, but none have been able to act the way you have. We've been building up, biding our time. But the defeat of 5 Watchers, no one's come close to that.
That's because you didn't have Big L.
Didn't have all of you, and that's something I'm glad has changed. I'm glad you all are with me for this fight. It is not going to be easy, but it is going to be crucial. And I think that this weapon will make things we do in the future easier, not just fighting the Watchers. If it kills them the way it does, that's a boon, but just people hearing that we have something like that, just that will get people whispering. That will get people talking, and that will get people believing. Maybe we can win. But for that, you've got to get it first. Good luck, my friends. And the raid on the lodge to get the Emp rifle from the dog tribe we'll get to next week because it is already midnight.
Fantastic.